The first time, the front third of the wall came down and she went down with it. A hand caught her wrist before she hit the ground. He stepped out of the dust, set her on her feet, and didn't quite let go. "You're not a demon fox," he said, "and you're more graceful than your entrance promised." She took the wrist back. "You brought down a wall." "I was efficient." "You're allowed." They kept the score for the rest of the night. The second time they met for the first time, he found her in the corridor at midnight. He came around the corner fast and stopped short, bumping into a smaller figure wearing a nightgown. "Young master," she said while feigning shyness. "How shameless! A girl alone at this hour, and you come at her out of the dark? If you wanted to walk me back, you only had to ask." "I was investigating. Investigating how to steal a glimpse of a young maiden's changing." His eyes sharpened, locking on her. "You shouldn't be in this wing," he said. "But I am the owner's cousin." She looked him over. "However, you don't like a cousin yourself. Neither do you move like a guest. You move like a man who's counting the exits." "A habit." "A nervous one." "A useful one." He took a step. She didn't step back. "You haven't told me your name." "You haven't earned it." "And how does a man earn it?" "He doesn't corner a woman in hallways, for one." "You cornered me. I came around the corner. You were standing in the middle of it, like you were waiting." She had been. She didn't tell him that. "Maybe I was admiring the architecture." "It's a corridor." "It's a very good corridor." She let the silence sit for a moment while touching intricate patterns on the wall. He didn't comment. That was the thing about him. He could wait. So could she. And she had more practice than he could imagine. "The East Wing," she said finally. "Whatever's pulling you through the house at midnight isn't here. It's in the East Wing." "And you know how?" "I know many things. It's tiresome." She stepped past him, close enough for her sleeve to brush his arm. "Go to bed, young master. The house keeps its secret better than you keep your composure, and the thing you're searching for will not leave its lair tonight." He let her pass. She felt him watching her the whole length of the corridor. The third time was in the kitchen. She had not expected anyone. The household slept and she was hungry, and there were mooncakes in a covered bowl, and she was eating them with her fingers when the door opened and he stopped in. She did not stop eating. He looked at her, at the bowl, at her hand. "This isn't yours." "It is now. You broke into the kitchen. The door was open." He came in and leaned against the work table across from her and folded his arms and watched her eat with an expression she couldn't read and didn't try to. "Most people," he said, "when they meet me, they stand a little straighter." "Should I curtsy?" "My hands are full." She acted as if she was suddenly concerned about etiquette, just to go back to her snack shortly. "You're not afraid, you're not impressed, and you're eating desserts prepared for tomorrow in the dark." He tilted his head. "I can't decide if you're very brave or very stupid." "Why not both? They visit the same houses." She set the empty bowl down and licked her fingers. "You're staring, young master. If your eyes were afire, it would burn my skin at this point." "You're strange." "Oh, you ended up in the middle of the night in the same place as I did. It must be fate." "I would be careful throwing strange around." He smiled. "You should eat," she said. "You've got the look of a man who forgets to. Too busy being efficient." "I don't forget things." She went still for half a breath. Then she picked up a second bowl, filled it with some rice and fruit, set it on the table between them, and pushed it toward him with one finger. "No," she said. "Of course you don't." He looked at the bowl, then at her. He ate the rice while she looked at him, tilting her head to the side and smiling. The fourth time she got caught eavesdropping, which is a generous label because she was barely trying to hide that she was listening at all. He was briefing his people in the side hall. She was outside the window in the dark, learning nothing that she didn't already know, when he said, without turning around, "You can come in. The wall's thin and you breathe like someone deciding whether to laugh, but it's very obvious you're there." She came in. She was not embarrassed. She had given up embarrassment a long time ago, somewhere around the third or fourth time the world ended and started over. His people looked at her, he looked at them, and they left. "You're spying," he said. "What can a bored maiden do in a big estate like this if not to try to get some gossip?" "On me, specifically. There's a demon eating this household, and you're at my window trying to learn something you can gossip about." "The demon's simple. It's hungry. It found a crack, crawled in. I understood it the moment I came here." She crossed the table, ran a finger along the edge of his map. "You're more interesting. You came 3 towns for a thing you could have sent your men to handle. You keep your people close, but you don't tell them everything. And you talk like a man who's already won an argument no one else knows you're having." He watched her circle the table. "You've been paying attention." She stepped across him. "But I haven't decided what kind of project you are yet." "A project? I'll let you know when I've classified you. And if I object to being classified, then you'll object beautifully, and I'll classify you anyway." She smiled, sweet and unbothered, tilting her head to the side. "You don't strike me as a man who's used to being figured out. It must be very disorienting." "It is," he admitted. The honesty of it surprised her. It always did. This part, the moment he stopped performing and just told the truth flatly. She sometimes found it very annoying too, as if he stopped the game. "You look at me like you already know how I will answer." "Maybe I do." "Then answer for me. Go on." She looked at him. She could have. She knew every answer he needed right now. She knew the shape of him in the dark, and the sound of his voice when the arrogance came off, and what his face did at the well, and how the night ended, and how it always ended. "You'll only follow me anyway." "Will I?" "You always do," she said, leaving the room. And he followed her, like he always did. The 5th time he caught her mid-spell, and that one didn't start nicely. At this point they saw each other for 4 days from a distance, but never had a chance to interact. She had her hands in the formation, light pull in close, the trail of the smudge half-formed and glowing between her fingers, when he came through the door and saw it. His sword was half-drawn before she lowered her hands. She jumped back rapidly, but her lips formed a smile. "What are you?" he said. "Put it away. The sword." "What were you doing?" "Reading the trail. It leaves a residue. You'll follow it. That's all." She didn't move. "Put the sword away." He didn't. She stood very still and let him look at her with the suspicion she'd earned just by being what she was. "You're not a demon hunter," he said. "No." "You're not a human." "No." His grip didn't change. "Give me one reason." "I gave you one." "I didn't lie. I could have. You'd never know the difference." She held his eyes and didn't flinch. "You've spent nights deciding if I'm worth your attention." "Decide if that wait was a fool's mistake." He lowered the sword. "You said you could have lied. Why didn't you?" "I'm tired of lying." It came out flatter than she meant, truer than she meant. "I've done a great deal of it, to many people. I find that lately I would rather not." He looked at her. No sign of suspicion left. "I have the strangest feeling," he said slowly, "that you already know the answer to anything I could ask you." "I do." "How?" "Try me." "All right." He sheathed the sword fully, stepped closer. "The road. I keep dreaming about the road. The same one every night, longer each time. I'm always walking with someone, and I can never see their face." He stepped in front of her. "Do you know who it is?" She looked at him, at the face she had memorized across more loops than she had names for. No matter what she did, no matter how the night went, no matter how many times she walked the road beside him while he forgot her with every dawn. "Ask me later," she said.